Well, welcome to the 7 o'clock talk. I'm Dr. Trevor Miller, and this is my wife, Nurse Jessica Miller. Together we have 45 years, you 15, me 30 years of in the trenches healthcare experience. She comes from the medical side, and I come from the holistic natural medicine side. And with that being said, she's taking classes for the A4M, which is Health and Hormones and Longevity. I have completed my training through the Institute for Functional Medicine, through the University for Functional Medicine, through Kalish Institute. So we make a really good, if I do say so myself, well-rounded team. She likes to do all the research on the medical aspect, and I do all the research on the holistic aspect. Tonight we're going to discuss a proverb that was said by a gentleman who was, I forget the guy's name, but he was interviewing RFK Jr. and actually Callie Means, who is co-author of Good Energy. And he said that, I wrote it down, they that have their health have 1,000 dreams. They that don't have their health have only one. And so what does that mean to you? Because you got very passionate about this just a moment ago while we were discussing it.
How I take that quote is, if I'm healthy, I can do whatever I want to do. So I'm going to dream of all the adventures and all the things that I want to do. But if I'm sick and I'm not healthy, then the only thing I really want is to be healthy so that I can do something else. But that's what it means to me.
And so let's just keep going down that path. What happens? What did you see in the hospital? Because you were there long enough to see people come in when they were younger and traverse through several phases of life. What happened to them? What did they end up doing? Did one pill turn into 4? Did they get more?
Once you get one pill, you always get more, and then you end up getting antidiarrheals and constipation medications all at the same time. But I mean, I took care of the same people for over 15 years. Nobody ever dies wishing that, they had one more medication, but I think they get stuck in a cycle. But we did that to ourselves. So I come from the medical world, and I love the medical field. I also believe that holistic is super important, and together they can be the bomb. But we as consumers want something tangible. So we actually created the problem.
Well, we want something quick.
Well, but we were taught, you give your money, you get something. Time doesn't really mean anything to anybody. So they go to the doctor, they sit there, they want something tangible, whether that be a script or a referral or a whatever. And so we used to take children in, and the doctor would be like, hey, you know what, I think it's viral, just let it run its course. But that wasn't good enough. We required something tangible, and then we wanted a script for an antibiotic. And that's why we have superbugs. Like, we are our own worst enemy. So we actually created the problem. And now that we've created this problem, a lot of things don't work. So these same people came in over time. I worked on an acute med surg floor, so I've seen people that used to come in with 2 legs and now have no legs. So we've slowly cut their bits off a little bit at a time. And, that didn't just happen on its own. That happened over time with, I'm unwilling to give up my candy bars, or I'm unwilling to exercise, or I'm unwilling to do whatever. People don't care until they're at a point which now all they can do is sit in a chair. And I bet you they would have given up that candy bar, or you would have hoped they would have given up that candy bar when they had the opportunity. So I've been able to follow people through life, and again, I was an acute med surg floor, so we started with toes and we ended up with legs, and then a lot of times those people died. So over 10, 15 years, you watch people walk in with sores on their feet, and then you watched them roll in until they didn't roll out anymore. And I don't want to be one of those people, and I don't want you to be one of those people either.
From my aspect of things, basically, what this means to me and what ensues is the same as she said. If you are healthy and and metabolically flexible, you can sit here and say, "Oh, I want to go for a bike ride," and you don't have to have eaten, just a second ago. It's kind of funny because people who are metabolically flexible can go do things and they'll forget to eat, but when they do eat, it doesn't cause a big problem for them. And so you're not always thinking about the next meal, the next pill, the next whatever, or I got to be so close to a bathroom, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, you're not going to die because you forgot to eat.
Yeah. So, unless you have Alzheimer's,
That's true.
So when we start to look at this and think about this, a lot of us don't start to think about our health until we are middle aged. And so the car has been banged up, dented, dinged.
I think that's our age, but now people are getting sicker. They're sicker earlier, so we have people that are dying in their 20s. And so I think a better wording is they don't care about their health until they lose it.
Yep.
And you can lose it way before middle age. We have teenagers and 20-year-olds that have lost their health. And with that, they lose hope. They lose the ability to care for themselves. They lose control over their life.
A couple of very scary statistics right off the bat. 77% of American kids cannot qualify for military service.
Those are children. So by the time they
48% of teens are already pre-diabetic.
Yeah, those are children. So 70% or greater of our children cannot be in the military, but they still have their whole childhood. So that number is going to get even greater by the time that they are able to be military participants. Yeah.
So how important is health? I'm in the healthcare field. She's in the healthcare field. We obviously think that health is the most important thing because that's what we've dedicated our lives to. And the reason why is because it ties into everything. It ties into the country. It ties into your family, your city, your state. It ties into everything. We spend more on diabetes care now than we do on defense. And so when we think about this proverb, and we all want the golden, they used to call it the silver bullet. You want the magic bullet, silver bullet, whatever the case may be. That magic bullet, silver bullet, is only ever meant to be taken short term. You have to correct the imbalances. You have to correct the lifestyle stuff and heal. And that's what we do. We help people all the time heal from the inside out. And we see some wacky labs. We've got a lab now that, wow, it's pretty jacked up. But you don't try to attack everything all at once. It's just like we do with our patients. You take one thing that you know you can change, you change it, you make that the habit. And then that increases your capacity to do more. And if you have to take medication short term,
that's what I was going to say. Our wacky labs, this is where the holistic, whatever you want to call it in the medical field, this is where they have to be married to each other and each has their benefits. So some people are going to require the help of an MD to get over the hump so that they can help themselves, because your heart is what keeps you going and your liver, you need it. So if you are past the point of return as far as where we can just jump in and help with supplements and food, you're gonna be sent to your primary care physician so that we can work together, so that we can get you to the best place that we can get you.
And so it does take us all, because quite honestly, medicine, the healthcare field, is the fastest growing and most profitable industry in America. So they have created this monster that they think everybody needs to depend on. You can work your way out of it for the most part. I mean, unless you're really, really gone, the body wants to heal. The body wants to come back. And you can do it, but you have to invest the time and the energy and the money. And you got to know that you're worth it. Even if the problem that a lot of people have is they stay so focused on themselves and so within themselves that those little negative voices start to take control. And so then we start to have feelings of doubt and self-esteem and things like that. And especially if we're isolated, then all of a sudden we get the I'm not worth anything. And these thoughts creep into your head. And almost everybody has had them. But then you have to stop and consciously think that you have people that depend on you. You have people that look up to you. You have people that you can teach to not get in the situation that you're in. When I got to be almost 300 pounds, the first thing I did is look at my son and said, hey, don't do this, this, and this. Otherwise, you've got to, it's a whole lot harder to lose weight than it is to keep it off. And that's, that's ring true, and he's done a pretty good job for himself.
You're running down a rabbit hole. We got to get back on task.
Well, but I mean, that's the proverb. Those who have health have dreams. We want to go bike ride Spain next year because of the little religious thing that goes on the path of St. James.
Well, and getting back to the pharmaceuticals, what are you going to do when the pharmaceuticals don't work anymore? Or you can't take them?
Can't take them because your liver's trashed or your kidneys are trashed.
So then what do you do? So that's where you get, well, we can't help you because, we can't give you any of the medicine because the medicine's going to shut down your kidneys or your liver. So then what do you do? Well, there's still things you can do. You go back to the natural things that God gave us. The things that our doctors, 100 years ago treated us with. So there's lots of natural things that you can help yourself with all the time that don't destroy your kidneys and don't destroy your liver and don't have the negative side effects, because food is medicine and there is all kinds of things in this world that are beneficial to us that are as good, if not better, than pharmaceuticals.
And quite honestly, we as a species lived without pharmaceuticals for a long, long time and lived a long life. It used to be acute things that killed us, infections that killed us. And once we got those under control, then all of a sudden our lifespans and health spans exploded. And then convenience has taken it back from us. If the one thing you can do and you really don't feel it right off the bat, it generally takes 3 or 4 days. But if you can get rid of your processed foods and your sodas right off the bat, you will be amazed at how good you actually feel. Anything else to add?
Nope.
All right. Well, that's our 7 o'clock talk tonight. If you have any questions, feel free to hit us up. If you wouldn't mind, give us a like and a subscribe. It helps get this message out to people, give them hope. And follow us on Facebook at Integrated Health of Indiana. And we're here for you. We help people all the time heal from the inside out.